Frugal tip of the day: pay your damn bills on time. It is as simple as that. Time to grow up, get your shit together, and pay your bills on time. There really is no excuse for being late. If you're grown up enough to have bills, you're grown up enough to pay your bills. And there are no excuses. You do online banking now. It is easy to keep up with your bills. There is no excuse for irresponsibility. You must plan ahead. You know when you get paid. You know when your bills are due. Plan to pay them ahead. You need to know, this week's pay has to go to pay these bills. And then in 2 weeks, that paycheck has to go to cover my rent or my mortgage. You plan it ahead. You schedule the payments ahead so they are never late. And you know what happens when you're late with the bills. I do not really have to explicate that, do I? Your credit rate suffers. And you don't need the stress of debt collectors calling you and hounding you on the phone. And someday, you're gonna want good credit for some reason, like you're applying for a job and they're actually gonna run a credit check on you. Or on a mortgage or a loan. You're gonna need a good credit rating. It is not something to screw around with. This is how I do it. I get paid bi-weekly. I use one check to schedule all my bill payments for the next month, and I have them paid at the beginning of the month so I know it's taken care of, they're out of the way. A lot of them are paid early because I really don't know when each one is due individually. That is a lot to keep track of. So in the beginning of the month, I know my utility bill will be paid, and my credit cards, and my cable bill, and money will automatically go into my little sinking fund for my car insurance because I pay that twice a year. If you have a car loan, you pay that. I don't have a car loan because I buy like old beaten up cars that I can afford just from the get-go. Try to avoid getting a car loan if you can. You do not need a brand new car. I have several bills that go on my credit card bill automatically, like my Netflix bill and my Easy Pass charges. Those go right on the credit card bill, so I pay that credit card once a month. So beginning of the month, I know all my bills for the month are going to be paid. And sometimes, yes, I am estimating what that bill is going to be. So I know roughly, generally speaking, how much my utility bill is every month, so I pay that much. And if I get a bill later in the month that says I owe another $25, I run right over to the computer and I put another payment in for $25. And if I paid a little bit extra, good. Then I have a credit towards the next month's payment. Then with my next bi-weekly paycheck, I know that's going to go for my mortgage or your rent. It really isn't that hard to plan and schedule that ahead of time now that we all have online banking. So be responsible, take care of your money, keep track in your check register. You need to know how much money you have at your disposal at all times and get your bills paid. You don't want a crappy credit rating. You don't want to be a later time grown up saying to yourself, oh, I really want to buy a house and get a mortgage, but I need to take a couple years to get my credit up. Don't buy what you can't afford in the first place, and you will be able to pay your bills. Don't rely on your credit cards. Don't live on credit. You must live within your means. God, that is so important. Pay attention to me. Live within your means. Keep track of your money. Pay your bills on time, or you will suffer the consequences. And I say that with all due love and respect. Oh, also, I want to remind you, you don't want to incur late fees. Oh my God, you're already having enough trouble struggling through making it month to month. And the corollary to pay your bills on time is return your stuff to the library on time. Any frugal person will tell you how fabulous a library is. You don't need to go out renting movies. You don't need to go out buying books. You use your local library. They have everything nowadays. But you don't return that stuff on time, you start to incur those little fines. And I myself have paid a lot in library fines in the past. I have to admit, this is an area that definitely needs improvement. But get on that, people. Return your stuff to the library on time. Enjoy your role as a responsible grown-up and citizen of the world.